And there we go. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining. We are so excited to have our award ceremony. It's been such an awesome week. So many people have been involved in this event, and whether it's Databricks, people helping out with, different teams wondering, asking questions on how they can really make such a cool product for their team, or whether it's some of our team at Blueprint working to make their product the best thing possible. So we have had so many hands go into this, and I just want to say thank you for everyone for joining, first of all. And we will get started with our award ceremony. So we had a total of 3 submissions totally, and I don't see all 3 teams on here yet, so hopefully everyone will join soon. And then because we do want to announce the winner of the $500. Who doesn't want $500? You can buy one of Gary's 3D printers. There you go. So that's the awesome bonus, but I know that everyone did vote on a People's Choice Award too. So even if you did not win the main prize, you're still in the running for winning the People's Choice Award. So just get excited about that. The winner of the People's Choice Award gets an awesome swag kit from Blueprint and Databricks. And either way, if you win the main prize or the other People's Choice Award, just know that after this meeting, we will get in touch with you to distribute the prizes. But we do want to kick off with just learning a little bit about who we all are, and we can, ask. Even I'll start off, and then I'll have each of the members on the teams go ahead, and then after that, Susie will take over and give a little bit insight on our judges as well. So my name is Ruthie. I am from Blueprint Technologies, and a fun fact about me, I am actually from Sri Lanka, so very far away from home, but I love it here in the Seattle area. And my job full-time is a social media manager for Blueprint. So I do all the events and the PR and social media. So if you are interested in doing more events like this in the future, let me know. I'll add you to that list so we can get in touch with you. But maybe Shri, I can have you go next. Oh, I think you're on mute.
Hi, thank you. I'm your neighbor. I'm from India, so I have a PhD in math, and I started as a faculty, then moved to starting my startup. So it was kind of easy progression for me to go from mathematics to of course I love Python. I started teaching Python, now machine learning and data science, and so my husband and I, like my teammate Ravi, so we enjoyed this challenge. It was so we couldn't do it, we couldn't start till Saturday because we had other commitments. But I think Databricks, the interface was good, and we enjoyed using the Microsoft Azure. So I think at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock we realized, oh, we have to go create a video, and okay, let's create a video. So it was good. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for doing it. Yeah.
Great. Would anyone like to hop in next? Maybe Daphne, Teresa? Or anyone else?
So Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, so Daphne here. Actually, I'm originally from Uganda, but am currently living in Germany. And Teresa and I are workmates, so we decided to work on this together. We didn't see the part of it's only for participants first in the USA, although we have another contestant who was from the USA who we teamed up with, but it was really fun. I work as a technology consultant for Lufthansa. So we decided to try out the new stuff from Databricks and how the whole Delta Lake architecture and the Lakehouse architecture works. It was really interesting to try out. Thank you so much, you guys.
Awesome. Yes, exactly. So my name is Teresa, and like Daphne already said, we are colleagues, and it was so much fun to do. And thank you guys for organizing this hackathon. I learned a lot, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks.
And had you guys had experience with Databricks before this event?
Actually not, no.
Awesome, that's great.
Actually,
Has
I'm
anyone
working
of
as
the
a
teammates had any experience with Databricks?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I read some blog posts from Databricks, but I never used your software, so it was good. I think yeah, I think we enjoyed doing it. I mean, like the interface was really easy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Would any of the other contestants like to share a little bit about themselves?
I guess I can speak a little bit. My name is Alessia. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
So my team was named Da Machine. I was just working alone because it was a very short notice from a friend. They let me know that there's a hackathon, and I never really participated in hackathons before. I never used Databricks. I never used SpicePark or recommendation engines, but it was really fun learning experience, and I was really happy that I was able to get something that actually worked at the end. So it was great. Thank you guys. It was really great experience.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining. I know there's a lot of people who have maybe never heard of Blueprint, never heard of Databricks, and still decided to join, and we're so excited that you did. And Susie, over to you.
Awesome. Yeah, that was great overall theme to hear, and good on you guys for trying out something new, especially during this work from home time. What a better time to do that. So great job. And thanks again for your time on all these projects. They were clearly thought out and you put a lot of energy into them. So I wanted to introduce you to the judges who actually watched your videos and scored them based off the criteria. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and I've got a couple of questions for them based off of your guys' projects. So let's see, Eric, do you want to kick off and introduce yourself?
Sure, if I can find the mute button. Can you hear me okay? All right, yeah, so Eric Vogelpohl, I manage the solution architecture group at Blueprint. I've been with Blueprint for 2 years and a couple months now and loving it. So I have some teammates in my org that focus on data science and BI and data and app dev and all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, so Susie, how do we want to organize this?
No, that's good. I can go the next, and then I'm going to ask you guys each individual questions. That's great. Mark, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm Mark. I'm from Databricks, and I've been an architect for data science in my previous lives for consulting and now the software company. So really appreciated all the work. And who was on the CHIPS team? I'm sorry, I didn't hear which teams there were. Yeah, okay. I actually have a degree in mathematics as well, and I was very impressed with the model that you chose. It's having seen a lot of data science, it's very rare I get surprised by a model, and that was really cool. So appreciate that.
That's great. And Gary?
Hello, my name is Gary Nakanalua. I am the Managing Director of Innovation here at Blueprint, and really my job just comes down to throwing a whole lot of noodles against the wall and seeing what sticks. So there you go. I kept it short, Susie.
Nice. And Tom, I know your video isn't working, but want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey guys. So first, thanks so much for joining the hackathon. I am Tom Taylor, and I'm a managing director at Blueprint. I've been with the company for about 5.5 years. I work closely with Mark there, who has the awesome like wooden wall in the background as Blueprint's partner manager. And yeah, I thought you guys all did awesome work. I really appreciated the enthusiasm and the quality that went into the presentations. I do not have a degree in mathematics, and I have not written a line of code in about 15 years. So I'm the probably least technical of the judges, and that's probably why I so very much appreciated the quality of the videos and the good explanation you guys did of your solution. So awesome work, and thank you guys. It's good to see all your faces. I'm happy to announce the people at Blueprint will appreciate this. I am getting a new computer tomorrow. My camera's been broken throughout this entire COVID thing. which is a terrible time to have a broken camera. So sorry, I'm just a voice and not a face.
All good. Thanks,
Oh.
Tom.
We all know that you just had to buy off a bunch of time to lose some weight. Good job.
Yeah.
Or
Or he doesn't know that
giant-
little
a
plastic
giant
thing
size.
is the sliding door.
Right?
I've actually, Mark, I've been secretly growing a ginormous COVID beard that I'm going to surprise you.
Yeah,
There you go.
perfect.
Also, Tom, I don't know if that's a wall behind Mark or not. I imagine he's like in the sit-up position on his floor right now, up at his computer.
With Eye of the Tiger playing in his earbuds.
Exactly.
What it looks like for sure. Cool. And I'm Susie. I met you guys at the kickoff. I'm the director of marketing at Blueprint. Fun fact, I'm not from Sri Lanka, but I'm from Bellevue, born and raised, went to Bellevue High, went to UW. I've been in the area for a long time. So big Pacific Northwest person. Okay, so let's review the judging criteria really quick. And then what I'd like to do, just because it is such a small group of us, I'm going to go through each team and each judge will just say one positive thing they thought was really cool about your project. And then I'm also asking that they give you one piece of constructive feedback, something, because this is all about learning. While we were competing, we still want to have fun and learn about the skills that we were taking on. So I wanted you guys to take away something as a value. And then afterward, Ruthie's happy to send you the comments from the judges, all anonymized, but something just to help you again as you perhaps want to embark more with the Databricks platform or talk with Blueprint about how you can implement these solutions in your own company. We'd love to actually do that beyond this event. That's a big part of the value we wanted to provide to you guys. So the judging criteria was based off of technology. Did the technology involved make you go, wow? We were looking for, obviously, we put together the challenge itself, but we wanted to look to see, was the solution innovative yet refined? Was it innovative and not fully developed? That would change the way that we would score. The completion, of course, did the hack actually work? Did you complete the challenge? And did you finish on time, of course? Practicality was the third criteria, and that's, could a company use this solution today? That was the big thing we were trying to push for you guys, is streaming data is something that exists in so many different companies, and there's a lot of solutions that you can attack with it, especially including Databricks. And so were you able to create something that a company could actually take your final project and implement it today? And then fourth and last was originality. Has the solution been used before? Is there something like it in the market already? We were looking for something completely different. So with that, I'm going to start off with just alphabetized. We'll start with the team chips. So Eric, I'm going to pick on you first. If you could give one positive thing that impressed you about chips and perhaps one thing that they could consider working on in the future. That mute button is so far away.
You got it?
There you go.
Does that sound better? All right. So chips, yeah, I think maybe I stole maybe one of Mark's, but I was not familiar with the isolation forest. I like how you, you know, I'm watching the video and I tend to really like explainability. Like I really value explainability in data science. To me, you know, data science it's cryptic and it's difficult. And guys, we all know we often get like weird equations with coefficients, and leaders and managers often don't know what to do with these things that it produces, right? So your job as a data scientist to say, we found X, and this is how it's applicable to stop, starting, or continuing a behavior at the company, sales or fraud or whatever it may be. So I tend to focus on those things just personally. I liked, so I really liked that. The piece that I think that I could have probably learned more from you is like isolating fraud as opposed to outliers. I think I got a little bit confused there. And again, that could be my ignorance, but really making certain that we had some good understanding of fraud relative to outliers, or maybe the outliers were truly fraud and I just didn't pick up on that message. But I think that's the piece for chips for me.
Right on. Thank you. How about you, Mark? One positive thing that chips did and one thing they could work on?
Yeah, definitely the innovation on that model for sure. I see machine learning code all day long, and it really is rare to get surprised by a model. Myself, go to Wikipedia and go, okay, well, what the hell is this? And it was good. It was intuitive as well. I would say from a solutions perspective, sometimes those niche models are great in the sample size, but when you go to expand it to like billions of lines of data, they can have the performance can lack and kind of reduce the ability to get an output by the time the business needs the results. Doesn't compute over the entire night or something. So I think figuring out how to distribute that would be interesting, and Spark has the ability to take that isolation force model and then just distribute it across the other nodes in the cluster. But I mean, from starting from that nice innovative model, it's impressive. So I thought that was really cool.
Awesome, thank you. And how about you, Gary?
Mute button so far away. Well, so what I did really quick for all the teams, I took a somewhat different approach in how I evaluated your all submissions, because I had a hypothesis that the other judges would be far more technically inclined than myself, and they have proven that hypothesis to be true, which is awesome. So I went a slightly different route and evaluated them from the ability to sort of communicate what and why you did and the approach you took, which is sort of one of those like unspoken responsibilities when it comes to innovation, right? You can do this amazing stuff with amazing technology like Databricks, but if people don't know it exists, they don't know what it does or why they should use it, it's that whole bear in the woods analogy, right? And Eric kind of touched on this. And so to go a little bit more on the nose for Chips, I thought you all did a great job, just a phenomenal job walking through your approach. I could follow along. I was like, I know what's going on here. And you were starting to highlight the learnings, because you would say things like, if we had a little bit more time with this, we would have been able to go down this path, which is great. And on that same vein, my recommendation to you all moving forward in these situations is lean into the learnings that you pick up from these types of things when you're trying out, new platforms, new tech. And then rather than looking at it as we didn't know this and that's why this didn't occur, flip it around to an outcome and be like, hey, by the way, here's all of these things that we've learned. We know that we can do all these amazing things with Spark inside of Databricks, and really present those learnings as an outcome rather than a shortcoming.
Great, thanks, Gary. And Tom?
Yes, so I would say on this one, really loved the enthusiasm that you guys exhibited around learning new stuff. I heard a lot of that in the video, and I could sense it. It's in the way you were walking through your solution. I have no idea what it means or anything, but the foresty tree thing was super cool. I love knowing the names of really fancy models that I don't know what they do or anything, so I can throw them out in casual conversation later. So I definitely appreciated that. But yeah, I love that you guys tackled, new technology and a new challenge with just a ton of can-do attitude and enthusiasm, and it really came through in your presentation, and it was clear enough for a numbskull like me to follow along with. So awesome job.
Awesome, thanks, Tom. Great job, Chips. That was great. We're gonna move on to the next team, and I think I'm pronouncing this right. I probably am actually not. Datha, am I saying that right? Teresa's like, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter because we just made it up for this hackathon. So
how would you pronounce it?
Data? I don't know. It's made out of
Data. Okay, I like it.
Teresa and Daphne, Teresa. Yeah.
Right on. I love it. Very creative. We're going to go back to the circle. So Eric, want to kick us off? So again, one thing that Datha did that was awesome, and one thing that they could potentially improve on.
Yeah. So just to make certain, this is the data engineering piece, right? And I love the video, again, because it's going to sound like a broken record. I love that you took, in this case, data engineering, and you put it in the context of manager. I think there's a new employee and we have a problem. and we need to apply some data engineering, some usage of Databricks to solve the problem, and now let's go. So I really value that synthesis of thought, and I thought that was cool and creative, and I thought you had fun with it. Technically, I really liked, a very clean use of merge. As we know with Databricks, merge and Databricks Delta have been out, Mark, I don't know, 2 years now, a year and a half, something like that. And I am so passionate about the lakehouse because we now have patterns in place that allow us to deal with upserts. You called your function. I thought that was wonderful. We can deal with deletes. And Mark, I think we can deal with even some exotic extend merge capability, like some slowly changing dimensions and other things. So super excited that Databricks is just like exploded into the realm of like warehousing now, lake housing. So I thought you did a great job there. The only thing that I think I could quibble with, and it's really not a quibble, maybe just as a stretch goal, is, when you are producing data sets for consumption, and maybe this is just something data engineers should or shouldn't do, but making certain that maybe we run some summary statistics, or you help with making certain the views and the data sets are super clean and ready to go, maybe gotten rid of nulls, et cetera, made the column names pretty. And then I think if you had the opportunity, and maybe we teed this up in the challenge, but to stretch into performing some interactive analysis on the data that you'd like to look at. I thought your use of the gold tiers and those things were just awesome. You optimized the data. I just thought you did a great job from an engineering perspective. And I tend to be more in the engineering realm, so maybe I'm a little biased.
That's great feedback. Thanks, Eric. Cool. And Mark?
I think I'm picking up on something, but I just want to validate it. Teresa and I can't maybe prefer you to pronounce the other guy's name. Is it Daphne? Daphne. Okay. Are you guys consultants, or do you work for Daphne? Okay. Are you consultants, or do you work for Lufthansa?
We are actually working for Lufthansa Industry Solutions, and we are like the IT consultancy firm of Lufthansa, but we're not only working for Lufthansa, but also other companies, and not only the airline industry. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, with the introduction of your video with the this data doesn't look like something I would have saw in Kaggle was very on point. And if this was like a job interview, you'd be hired. I cannot stress enough how what you learn in the classroom, it just gets thrown immediately out the window when you get into real world work. And it's very hard to forecast project timelines and stuff like that if you're not being realistic, or if you have the experience of how poor data management and data quality can really throw off your projects. I thought that was just a really astute observation and a very consultative of you. And so I was like, maybe there's a consultants here who picked that up. So I mean, of course, that's what I thought was the best is just, it's not necessarily technical, but it's just understanding the concept of needing to provide these data scientists clean data in order for them to take advantage of the tool itself. And I think you did a good job using Databricks Delta. So, I mean, I don't know if you read the documents, but you did it right. So I thought that was really good. I would maybe echo Eric, but just say it's slightly different is, as you go to like demo data sets, it's nice to show people, the data as it comes in so they can validate it. So it kind of looks like the way they would expect it to look like, histograms or some bar charts, just to make sure things are kind of coming in correctly, not like visual analysis, so to speak, but it's just like making sure, this data set isn't lopsided or something like that. But that's such a that's me just trying to find something to kind of give you as a recommendation. I mean, you did a great job. So really good stuff.
Thank you. Actually, it's funny that you're saying this because we were thinking of this part and we wanted to do it. And then Derek said yeah, but this is made up data, so probably you won't find out anything. And we said, okay, then we just skip this point then.
Yeah.
Totally. Yep, it looks fake to me, right? Yeah.
Definitely, if you were talking, say it one more time. We didn't get that audio.
No, since Eric said that some of the data is made up, we kind of thought it doesn't make sense to show it up because it will just end up to be the same situation that, okay, it's just anomalies and they're expected, so we don't need to show it. So we left it at that.
I heard somebody once say something about a word and they said, that word is made up. And my favorite comeback to that is all words are made up. And I just wanted to say all data is made up, just from various sources.
That's awesome.
The Oracle of Orlando
I
has
feel
spoken.
like there's like a deep Buddhist philosophy right there with that, man. That was good.
Absolutely. It's kind of an Eastern theme and it's appropriate for today.
Awesome. Gary, how about you?
Mine's going to echo very similar sentiments as the others. Number one, great job on bringing us into this scenario. Like within 30 seconds, I was like, oh, I completely understand this problem. Like I got it. And I also loved in your all's video as you were kind of going along and at one point you go, oh, but we're not stopping here. We've implemented some other cool stuff. And I thought that was a really nice touch. Very well done. To that end, my recommendation is because you guys really brought us into the scenario, it worked for me, it worked for Mark, it worked for Eric. I think part of that, you all got lucky that we understood that scenario. So my recommendation to you all is be mindful of the audience for your video. And I recognize like the judging criteria, we were kind of like, we're not going to like hold your feet to the fire on the pitch itself, but you all did such an incredible job with your video and putting it out there that you very much now I go, oh, now I got to lean into that one because this is a good one. So that would just, as you all move forward and you're kind of continuing work with Databricks and doing these amazing things, like you've established this great way of the scenario. Be mindful of, cool, the people that I've got to share this scenario with, will it resonate with them? And if the answer is yes, then y'all nailed it.
Awesome. And how about for you, Tom? A positive and one thing that they could work on?
Well, first I'd say you can ignore me as an audience member because for me to understand it, you'd have to put simple arithmetic out there in CRAN, and then I would get where you were going from a technical perspective. But so a couple things I appreciated the clarity of the explanation, even though I'm ill-equipped to critically evaluate the technical nuances of the solution. So I thought you guys did a great job with your video. And I think you got to done, which is awesome because you had a short amount of time to learn and work with a new technology, and that is no small feat. So great job.
Nice job, Datha. Nice. Okay, and last but not least, you bet. Last but not least is the machine. And so we're going to go back around the last loop before we announce the winner. So Eric, kick us off. One thing they did great, one thing they could work on.
Sure. Well, I thought overall the one thing to work on was the audio. That was minor, but I would have loved to have heard your thought process. I thought this code completion was just outstanding. I think that the thing that I liked the call out was I really liked in the solution video you showed you showed the overfitting problem, kind of a classic overfitting problem with data science. I like that you called out the root mean square error, and you kind of walked us through. It's still too high. It's getting right. You kind of walked through. But yeah, just outstanding code completion and a heavy usage of some of the the alternative least square models, the ALS models, which are appropriate for this type of work. Your talk about cross validation I thought was spot on. Obviously, you've mastered this craft of data science. You've done just a very nice job. I hats off to you. It's wonderful.
Awesome, that's great. How about you, Mark, for the machine?
Yeah, I've had similar. The ALS model's a good model to use in retail. But they oftentimes have sparse matrix. A lot of our customers use that for their recommendation machine. So I thought that was totally on point with picking that model. I don't really have anything from like a critique, honestly. I thought it was just really well built. You know, you went through the different elements of that, you know, the model validation, you know, and the model testing. So I really like that. I thought you'll probably see this in my notes, but just demonstrating the model working is so powerful to the end users, right? I mean, I've gone and sold a lot of data science in my day, and like you scroll through code, and the people who buy data science, their eyes roll to the back of their head. But as soon as you start showing them the actual model working and it returning the results, like that's very visual, it's visceral, and it gets a reaction to them. So I really appreciate you kind of doing it through that total life cycle.
Awesome, thanks. Gary?
The mute button that is so far away to a computer that is right there. So number one, serious kudos for submitting your video within the time, because Eric kind of touched on this from an audio perspective. In the innovation space, it's important to show value along the way. And I highlight this because I think a lot of teams would have just been like, oh, our video is messed up, forget it. Yay for us for doing something. So number one, serious kudos for that one and showing that. I was able to follow along with your presentation minus the audio. And again, so kudos on that one because it was easy for me to follow. Probably my one recommendation to you, which Susie will probably later stab me for saying this, but I would say in regards to your video, like cheat, like submit it late. Like, you know what, like I get that the rules said you had to have it, but you know what, like cheat and find your way in it. Like, you know, if you're not cheating, you're not trying type of thing, right? Literally, Susie right now is like, stop it.
Completedness on time was part of the criteria, Gary.
I get it. But as you, again, listening to Eric and Mark's feedback, like there's such brilliance in what was done. Like, you know what, you match that up and like, you know what, cool. Well, this is what I'm going to do. So anyways, great job. And to all the teams, phenomenal job for all of you all. And for all of you all, everyone should cheat.
We're gonna mute him right now. Okay, Tom.
Say, thank you real quick. I do know that I still yet to master the art of PowerPoint shows with narration apparently, because my narration was gone. I submitted it like 1 minute to midnight, I think, and I realized that there's no narration. It just got lost in the conversion to the video, and I'm like, okay. Well, thank you. I'm so happy that you were able to follow anyway.
I think that's great, and I had a CEO one time who was fond of saying, "Let not perfection be the enemy of good enough." And I think that you guys all showed a great deal of courage and persistence and creativity in following that particular maxim throughout this. On this one, not really being super technical, I was still able to follow along, and like Mark said, it was cool to see you run in some stuff and all of that. So, I thought it was very, very well done and great effort. And I don't have any particular feedback around models or anything, but I think, right up there with the quality and quality of everything else.
Awesome. Thanks again, everyone, for submitting. So great. So what we've been waiting for is the announcement of winners. I'm going to hand it back to Ruthie to announce.
Yes. So I will say this over and over, but thank you guys for joining us again and again, because honestly, it's been a learning experience not only for us doing a hackathon virtually, which is new to a lot of different people. So first of all, thanks for bearing with any technical glitches that we had along the way. Also, I want to point out really quick, a big thank you to Derek and David, who were on the back end, always answering questions. I'm sure a lot of you guys would have asked questions in that way, and I'm really thankful to them too. Now to the good stuff. We have 2 prizes. First one is a $500 cash prize. And we also have some cool digital swag, which is your backdrop, which will say winner, that you can, whenever you're having meetings throughout this week, you want to show it off, please do that. We want everyone to know that you won. It's a big deal. And then same thing, digital swag will be for the People's Choice Award as well. So make sure you have that bragging right wherever you go. So I want to also let you guys know, so we tallied up all of the judges' remarks. We put in all of the ratings, and honestly, it was a very close call with all of the teams. Everyone did so well, and it was very, very few differences between the 2 teams. So know that everyone did a great job. So first place and the winner of $500 goes to Datha. Good job, guys. I know you guys put a ton of effort. I think the main thing that everyone really noticed is the amount of effort you put into your video too. It really showed the effort that was put into the project, and that was also shown in the quality of your video. So great job. And then the People's Choice Award goes to The Machine. So great job on that as well. Well done to all the teams. All of you guys did such an awesome job, and we just want to thank you again. A couple things I wanted to end with. I'm adding a link in the chat box right now, and that is for our Microsoft Forms for the survey. So if you don't mind just taking 5 minutes after this call, just to hop in there, just let us know what things you liked, what things we can work on for next time, because we really want to make sure our events are top notch, no matter what it is, whether it's a hackathon or whatever it is. So please just take 5 minutes of your time to fill that out. And then I also want to let you know that we are also having, so this one was the Pacific Northwest. The one that we are currently in is South Central, and then we're doing a combined version of Southeast and Northeast together to make it one big East one. So that one is coming up on the 26th. So if anyone is interested in recommending someone to join this East one, maybe you have some friends on the East Coast, or even if they're not on the East Coast, if they're in the Pacific Northwest and you want to refer them, send them via email to me, and for referring them, you will also get some cool Blueprint swag that will send it to you. So thank you guys so much for all that you did throughout this whole competition. Make sure you follow us on social media. We will be posting the winner on there as well, and we'll also make sure that we'll be posting anything new about our events coming up. So any new hackathons and we might be planning one coming up soon. So be sure to be checking us out online, especially LinkedIn. Connect with us there. All of us are on LinkedIn, so send us an invite. We'd love to stay in touch and keep connected throughout the time. So I think that's about it. And feel free to stay on and talk, and you can talk about your projects with the other teammates, or just hang out, or I think that's it. Yeah. Susie, any last minute thoughts you want to add in?
No, I think it's Teresa. Is it 2 a.m. your time? Are you in Germany?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's almost 2 a.m.
Okay, kudos to you. Thanks for joining us so late. You may not stick around for hanging out, but yeah, thanks again, you guys. We're looking forward to hosting more events in the future and hope to see you there.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the
Thanks,
experience.
everyone.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys so much.
Thanks for
Take
joining.
care.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Bye.